very good day from myself, Devon Govender, and welcome to the Gallop TV selection show that's scheduled for the race meeting that takes place this Sunday at the Big T on the Turffontein inside track. And we've got a nice race program for you come this Sunday. We certainly look forward to it. And the fields are compact, but it's not short of competitiveness. Always a pleasure to be working alongside Alistair Cohen, and he's going to be joining me on the line to take us through his previews and selections. Hi, Alistair. How are you doing?
Hi, Devon. Yeah, all good, thanks. Nice to be chatting to you again on this preview show. It's definitely been a while, so nice to have you in my ear this morning. Day after the Race Coast Maximum Stakes at Hollywoodbets Durbanville, the Strips Diana Stakes, and less than a week out from the Betway Joburg Spring Challenge, which is one of the first big signs on the half out that some big names are starting to step out. Obviously, a lot of those big names would be saved for next week, so as you say, this card competitive without potentially having any future Grade 1 winners, certainly through those handicaps. But yeah, some nice racing indeed. Hopefully the place accumulator that I've tipped up goes according to plan, and we can finish the weekend on what has been hopefully a very good sporting weekend for all concerned on a high note.
Yes, we look forward to that place accumulator this Sunday, and let's get straight into the action there. The first race kicks off at 12:45. It's over 1,450 meters, and just taking a glance at the betting market, Alistair, number 8, 1-2 Buckle My Shoe has been supported all the way down to 22-10, and this daughter of Master of My Fate, beautifully bred.
Yeah, she's a full sister to KZN Guineas winner Zapatias, a full sister to Dingon's runner-up Shoemaker. She's very well related, number 8, 1-2 Buckle My Shoe. This is what I can tell you. She's putting up winning work. Typical first-timer disclaimers apply. Hopefully she's not too green. Hopefully she's ready to take on the 1450 on debut, which is not necessarily Candice's style. She's done well with the first-timers that have stepped out throughout last season as 2-year-olds and into this season, Trust being a case in point. So hopefully she can do the job. Her work is of good quality, but that's not to say that there might not be some quality with other first-timers around. So definitely respectful of what's going on. Number 4, Anahit, is a full sister to Rascallion, who was not a Grade 1 winner, but certainly punched above his weight at the highest level and racked up a few stakes wins along the way. Garish Samabertia takes 4 kilos off the back. It is the first meeting of Michael Astley by himself in a long time, seeing as Adam has relocated down to Durban. Word is out about number 4, Anahita, that she's nice as well. Probably going to come into her own over a little bit further, and nice starting point for her. 1-2 Buckle My Shoe's winning work could also be Anahita's winning work, so we shall see. The Cock comments are out about their runners on the card. Number 6, Countlet, sounds like she needs a bit further, so hoping for a top 3 or 4 finish for the daughter of a thief under Callan Murray. And then I don't think the race runners have their legs tied up either here, Devon. Number 9, Ringer Roses would be the one that I lean towards. Good improvement from run 1 to run 2. I don't like the Zara Dominia form, so that leaves me a little bit short with number 7, Flying World, and number 5, Comic Artist. Despite respecting them, I do think that they'll need to confirm their improved runs behind Zara Dominia. And then number 9, Yentel, definite top 4 inclusion. If she repeats her debut run behind Tina Lovelace and not her last run, she probably has a winning chance. Just a matter of whether she's fit enough and dusts off the cobwebs of her last run. Hopeful that number 8, 1-2 Buckle My Shoe can win. I think she can win, but definitely respectful of some of the opposition.
I love the confidence coming through there from Alistair Cohen regarding number 8, 1-2 Buckle My Shoe, and we're going to keep a close eye on this individual going down to the start. Maybe a few exactas could be the way to go here in race number 1. Moving on to the second race on the program that kicks off at 13:20. It's over 1,450 meters, and just taking a quick glance at the betting alley. Number 7 is odds on here at 4-10. That is 1 eye on Vegas.
Yeah, I've seen a few 4, 5 to 10 shots get beaten in the last few weeks, unfortunately, Devon, but I'm willing to certainly bank him in the place accumulator. Again, the Cock comments are, well, why wouldn't they be bullish of a win? Callan Murray takes her out, draw 1, step up in distance. The form behind Trust, very interesting, because the horse who was very well beaten from that form run, the form of Ubermensch, ran in the maiden handicap on Thursday at the Vaal and just got touched off, having run second. And Ubermensch was well behind 1 eye in Vegas on that occasion. There was talk for him on debut when supported from a price of even money to around 6-10. Took him a while to warm into the race, suggesting that the step up and trip will do him a world of good. And certainly of the race runners here, Devon, I don't see any issues whatsoever. Royal Jacket is exposed. Emerald City, despite its improvement, don't know if the form lines are good enough. Talk of the Hearts is not doing anything. Indian Spice, definite scope to improve. I think that he'll finish a lot closer than they call it, 10 lengths behind on debut, but I don't know if that'll be enough to turn over one eye on Vegas. Of the first-timers, two that make a little bit of appeal, but for the form of one eye on Vegas, I'd give them a ton of respect. Number 4, Errol Flynn, trained by Joey Soma. Now it's got the Vernus colours in the yard. Craig Zaki takes her out. That's got to be worth something, that engagement. And then number 8, Texas Missile. I don't know which the horses are, but I'm of the opinion, well, the word on the streets is that Alec Laird's got some nice unraced 3-year-olds that are hanging around. I can't tell you if it's this one because I don't know. The son of One World, Calvin Habib, takes her out. But maybe just watch the market on number 8, Texas Missile. He might be worth including into a few bets with number 7, One Eye on Vegas. But in the P8, Banker 7 first leg.
Well, the firm first selection in race 2 will be number 7, One Eye on Vegas, and we will keep a close eye on the market when it comes to the unraced runners. Moving on to race number 3 on the program, it will jump at 13:55. It's over 2,000 meters, and just taking a quick glance at the betting there, I see number 10, Military Moves, is firm at around about 3-1, gelded on the 19th of May.
Oh, Devon, it's not a nice race. And he's the horse, without looking at the market, when looking at this card, he was the horse that I was leaning towards. Going this trip, second start, not easy, but well-bred, Son of Fire Away, good form line, just all at sea and wayward on debut, just never took the bit, was never in it. But persistence and gelding is hopefully going to serve the Son of Fire Away, Robbie Sage and Colin Bird well. But look, it's hard to get excited about a run that shows 12.5 lengths behind Tenjiku on debut, despite the fact there have been winners from that form, including Whispering Death, who is a very interesting nominee just a week later. But at least he's got scope to improve, and if he is being sent up the distance sort of ratio as quickly as he is, then he is the most interesting horse in the race. I would never make him a good thing. I wouldn't make him a solid winning bet, but I would make him a narrow first selection. Other inclusions as far as the place accumulator is concerned, to be fair, in the pick 6, you'll probably want a few numbers here. I've got 3 Parabellum out of a Sormares mare, Devon. Sormares, the further the better, and he's going 2,000 meters for the first time as number 3 Parabellum. His form does leave him a little bit questionable about whether it's good enough and whether that's good, solid, convincing winning form, but I do think there'll be some improvement to come over this trip. Number 5 Copper Plate. I know this horse from Cape Town, he's got a stride from here to China, but sadly his stride is in slow motion, but I think this extra distance will also serve him well. If this was the stand-side track, I'd probably recommend a nice each-way play on number 5 Copper Plate, but for now he's just an inclusion, and I hope that he can get into the money. And then number 7 Isaiah's Tiara, despite being an exposed 12-start maiden, also trying this trip for the first time. Jared Penny takes her out, but Craig Mayhew, I think that she's running some pretty average races, and I don't think that this is much better. So if she can get into the hunt in those types of races, then she's going to be a contender for top honours for the first time in a while. So those are the 4 horses I've got, and I know number 1 Scratch, so that probably helps the cause in terms of being a bit of a tongue twister in this race. But like I said at the top, there are quite a few that you'd want in the first leg of the pick 6 in order to survive.
Well, there you heard it from Alistair. Include a few in the pick 6, and the place accumulator numbers will be 3, 5, 7 and 10. Moving on to race number 4. It's another one over the 2,000 meter trip, and just glancing at the betting here, number 1 Free in Seattle is trading at around about 33-10, actually joint with number 7, that is Kissing Machine. Alistair?
Yeah, this is probably the one leg of the place accumulator that I'm most uneasy about here, Devon. I've kicked for touch earlier on, and I've gone light in the remaining legs, but this is probably the one race where I wish I had 1 or 2 more. My 2 numbers here are 3 Avo, 1 Toast, and 4 Azaleas for all, but interesting that at the top of the boards we've got a horse that hasn't run in nearly 2 years in the form of number 7, Kissing Machine, who hasn't got the most ideal draw, and also steps up and trip, and just looking at her running style, she kind of stays on, which might help her see out the extra trip, but I'd like to see a bit more conviction in the way that she runs on to be convinced about her being a top selection, but she'll definitely go into the Big Six. And then number 1, Free in Seattle, who's obviously a model of consistency, but there's a line of form here, Devon, that puts quite a few horses ahead of her in the pecking order. Just going back to it, it's on the 9th of August, where Azaleas for All finished in front of Free in Seattle and Fetching Flyer, was 2 lengths in front of Free in Seattle and comes in here a kilo and a half better off. So I think that she's quite well treated here, number 4, Azaleas for All. Ignore the last start. Just things didn't go according to plan. She drifted off the board. She took a bump at the 200. She was never making a winning move. She probably wasn't even making a move to get into the first 3, but she was definitely a lot better value than the 6-length deficit behind Free in Seattle shows, and I think the further she goes, the better she is, as her record does suggest. And then number 3, Ava One Toast. She's a half-sister to Grade 1 winner Red Saxon, who was also trained by Joey Soma. The draw does not fill me with too much confidence, but I like how she's hitting the line in some of her recent starts, so that leads me to believe that she'll run an honest race. If not winning, she'll go close. So Darcy on the race, I must be honest with numbers 3 and 4 only. If I had to include one other, it would be number 1, Free in Seattle, but hoping that the small field can kind of help us across the line here. Then from here, I do think that we'll be okay for the rest of the card.
I really like the chances of Alistair's selection. That is number 4, Azaleas for All, and I do believe represents some solid value even for the places currently trading at just under even money at this stage. That is number 4, Azaleas for All. So 3 and 4 in the next leg of the place accumulator. That is race number 4. Moving moving on to race number 5. It will jump at 15:05. It's over 1,200 meters, and there is a place accumulator banker here in the form of number 2, the suggested place accumulator banker in the form of number 2, Stormy Day, who tops the betting boards, Ali, at 7-10.
Yeah, Von, I know something here. I know she's held in high regard. She trotted up on debut. I know she didn't beat much, but she beat the field in very convincing and compelling style. She comes at a gate number 1 on the Turffontein inside track over 1,200 meters, which is a massive tick in the box. And I think connections will be blown away if she didn't get, like I said, held in high regard, Argentinian bred, and the fact that she's at her home course, I'm sure that she's seen a turn and had a nice little look-see on the inside track just to brush off the cobwebs in the 64 days that she's had off. And despite the fact that she's got to give a little bit of weight away, which won't be all that easy, I don't see her missing the top 3. And to be honest, I'd be quite disappointed if she didn't win. There has been money and a bit of talk for number 3, 50 Ways, who won with his head in his chest last time and beating Bingo. Again, that form line doesn't look like it's sparking up too much, but all you can do is win, and he won in good style, the number 3, 50 Ways on that occasion. And I suppose number 7, Merryweather, having won over a mile last time, dropping in distance, that might answer that question. So I'm happy to bank in number 2, Stormy Day, and all bets here, Devon. I think that she'll take a power of beating, and Craig Zacky's engagement certainly does no harm to the confidence.
Short and sweet there from Alistair Cohen in race number 5. We're going to banker number 2, Stormy Day, in all bets. A very, very impressive maiden win when winning by 4.25 lengths. Currently trading at around about 7-10, and that will be the banker for us. Moving on to race number 6, which jumps at 15:40. It's over 1,200 meters, and just looking at the betting, number 6, The Last Duke, currently trading at 5-2, and then number 1 ensuing. Those are the PA numbers, currently trading at 3-1, Ali.
I'm a little disappointed about the price of number 6, The Last Duke. I thought we'd get a little bit more value about the son of Duke of Marmalade. But I think that this is a reasonable little horse. I think that he's going to win his races, and he might not be too far away from feature race level, to be honest here, Devon. I love what I saw last time, straight up the maidens. I was all over It's Personal. He comes from a form line of Constellation, who now shows 4 from Ford. I was all over It's Personal on this preview show 36 days ago on the 23rd of August. And the money that came for The Last Duke didn't worry me at the time. I thought, well, they're still not going to beat It's Personal. But during the race, I got the fright of my life. And this was really pushed the older campaigner, giving him just half a kilo all the way down to the wire. So he went straight into the notebook to number 6, The Last Duke. And he's a horse that I'm going to follow with quite a bit of interest going forward. And I think that I think that he'll pay to follow, to be fair, number 6, the Last Duke. I make him a live chance here, low mileage, so getting the hang of things, still coming into his own, and on what I saw last time, he's a very interesting runner in the 6th race, the 5th leg of the place accumulator, so he's very much in the play, as you mentioned, and I've got number 1 ensuing in because there's just no reason to write off his chances. Won't be easy. £14 and 2 wins. It's a lot. The 4 kilo claim just to lighten that load ever so slightly of Garish Mobersia, who was certainly well worth his 4 kilo claim. I can tell you for free that some Cape Town trainers who saw him ride for the first time on Monday are very keen to get on the phone with Garish and see if he's able to come down to Cape Town a little bit more often. Anyway, we digress. He won with consummate ease in his 2 starts, since Johan Janssen van Vuren just unlocked that extra potential. Like I said, no reason to write off a horse that's won in that type of style. Has the handicapper caught up to him? That's the $1 million question. I think it's true that the 4 kilo claims on, and I think, to be fair, if he does win here and gets another hefty penalty, that might be the end of the short-term road with number 1 ensuing. But certainly while he's in this type of form, there's no reason to say that he can't go back in. Heaps of chances outside of those. Got the feeling not one that I'd shortchange. I think Red Penny's alive. I think Alpha World won well enough over 1200 last time to give him some sort of mention. But in the place accumulator, more than happy with 1 and 6. But 6 is my top choice.
I'm in full agreement with you there, Ali. I was just having a look at the reruns last night when going through the card, and now that you've given me the confidence, I'd like to have a solid strike on number 6, the Last Duke, my firm first selection.
Yeah, I think that I wouldn't be putting anyone off the Last Duke, and especially if the track has got a little bit more, now that there's been rain in Joburg, I think that'll suit the son of Duke of Marmalade a little bit more as well. He might be able just to see out that little bit extra with a bit more experience under his belt. Yeah, I like him as a horse, and like I said, I think he'll pay to follow.
Race 6, the place accumulator numbers will be numbers 1 and 6, but the firm first selection will be number 6, the Last Duke. Moving on to race number 7, it's over 1450 meters. It will jump at 4:15, that's 16:15. And just, excuse me, having a glance at the market, number 9, Jingleberry, is trading at around about 5-2. Number 4, Palace Dancer at 33-10, and those are the place accumulator numbers. I really like the chances of number 4, that is Palace Dancer, Ali.
She was drawn better, just about the banker in the place accumulator here, Devon. A little bit worried about that draw. In fact, the owner came up to me at Turffontein a week ago and said, please look at the race. What do you think? Should we run? And I said, Amos, it's not my style to run from a deep draw over 1450 on the Turffontein inside track. But she's so well, she's ready. So here we are. They're rolling the dice from the draw. If she can get over, never mind if she'll get over, you know that you'll get a run for your money, you know that you'll get her best effort, wherever that helps her finish. She'll be giving it her all, because that's just what she does. Her profile and her form shows you that. So I think from a place accumulator perspective, she's a very nice horse to have running for you, because you know what you're going to get. But my top choice is number 9, Jingleberry. Despite coming off 155 days off the track, just for a refresher, go back to the 12th of April when she made her debut and won. She beat Gulf of America, a form line which, to be fair, is not lit up by any stretch of the imagination. But the word was out about Jingleberry on debut, and going through the 400, you were in a world of pain. Pain, you've done your money in cold blood. But she took off, absolutely took off over the last 200 meters, and won like a filly that A, has got a future, and B, the further she goes, the better she'll be. And here we are trying 1450 now for the first time. I think that's very much in her wheelhouse, and even going over further, I think she'll come into her own. Just a little bit of talk on the ground that there are high expectations for number 9, Jingleberry, that there are some plans for her afoot, so this is the start of her campaign. But with 52 kilos on her back and having run at feature race level and got a little bit of small black type to her name, I think it shows the quality of this filly, and if she's not in desperate need of the run, I think she'll win. But if she is, then Palace Dancer, more than adequate backup, more than happy with these two horses. And in fact, in the pick 6 that I might or might not play, I think I'd be comfortable with just those two horses to run for me, to be fair.
There you heard it from Ali. We can go a little bit light in terms of the pick six with numbers 4 and 9. Definitely number 9, Jingleberry, the horse to beat when running an absolute cracker in the last start in a feature race, finishing second to One Fine Winter. But that 33-10 on number 4, Palace Dancer, looks very, very inviting. Just needs a little bit of luck from the draw. Moving on to race number 8 on the program. That slide is going to come up on screen. It will jump at 1650 and it's over 1450 meters. Ali, I'm a bit lost with this race. It looks very, very competitive, and I'm hoping that we can get through the place accumulator here.
Oh, my type of races, Devon. I've been waiting for this since the 8th of May. Bloomington on the inside. On the inside track, Bloomington, rating drop, 4 kilo claim. A big each way bet from me. This is my bet of the day. It's a long wait, but I really, really like his chances. This horse grows an extra leg on the inside track. His record on the inside track speaks for itself. Very high percentage of winter places. In fact, his overall career just fits in well. I'd venture to say that he might have won on the inside track on the 8th of May. I was at Turffontein that day. There was an objection. For me, they got the objection call 100% right, but I think to call a spade, a better ride gets him to win. Simple as that with number 4, Bloomington. He obviously went up the ratings. The handicapper conceded that might have been a little bit too high. I'd like to know. I'd like to do an experiment, and I don't have the time or the patience to do it, but what his rating would be over his 18 starts on the inside track. I think his rating would be higher than 77. Anyway, that's not necessarily putting pieces of the puzzle together. Different horse on the inside track. Rating drop, 3rd run after a break. I'm very, very keen on this horse, number 4, Bloomington, and I think that he can win. And like I said, he is my bet on the day. He's my each-way play. Excuse me, number 2, Big Unit. Keeps me interested here, Devon. That Cape form is very strong. That Cape form in Joburg is good enough to win. I know him well. Stand side track, definite tick in the box.
Yes.
Inside track, not 100% sure whether he sort of got the profile and got the style for the inside track. You need a sharp turn of foot, and it takes him a few strides to build into his big stride, which might just compromise him. But that Cape Town form is more than good enough to translate into a big winning chance in Joburg. So I've kicked for touch with him, and I've included him. But like I said, my each way play undoubtedly number 4, Bloomington. Just to mention about number 6, Laughing William. Who knows what you're going to get with him? He is wildly inconsistent. When he won last time, expectations were low. I suppose on the back of a confidence-boosting win, they're a little bit higher. So, but there's zero confidence with number 6, Laughing William, just because you cannot be confident of a consistent and an honest effort from number 6, Laughing William, because he can do anything. Plus, he's also held by Super Awesome and Sea Shanty on that run, but wouldn't be the first time that he's popped up and defied weight turnarounds and stuff like that. So maybe include him into the quartet, but he's just not one to rely on.
There you heard it from Alistair. The place accumulator selections in race number 8 are numbers 2, Big Unit, and number 4, Bloomington. And this is Alistair's value selection. That is number 4, Bloomington. Just touching on the betting of number 4. Is currently trading at 16-1, so that represents some solid value there. A really nice value selection, and Alistair has given us a lot of confidence on the Fabian Habib trained son of Wiley Hall. So we're going to include this into all bets. That is number 4, Bloomington. Moving on to the last segment of the show, and that slide is going to come up on screen. Alistair has got a suggested place accumulator, and that's going to come up on screen any moment now. We certainly look forward to that. Alistair, take it away.
Yeah, it's a late start on this 8-race card, Devon. First getting underway at 12:45, so the PA starts at 1:20. Open up with a banker. I think it'll be the general public's banker. Banker number 7, One Eye on Vegas. Second leg wide open, 3, 5, 7, and 10. Parabellum, Copper Plate, Zayas Tiara, and Military Moves by 3 and 4. Avo on Toast and Azaleas for all. Then banker number 2, Stormy Day. Then on to race 6, which is leg 5, 1 and 6 ensuing, and the last Duke. Then gone 4 and 9, which is Palace Dancer and Jingleberry, and then the final leg 2 and 4, Big Unit and Bloomington. Really looking forward to Bloomington. I think he'll do us proud.
There you heard it from Alistair. There's some really nice selections come this Sunday at Turffontein. We certainly look forward to that, especially the last race with that value bet coming up in the form of number 4 Bloomington in race number 8. So if you're playing this place accumulator, we wish you all the best of luck. And Alistair, it's always a pleasure working alongside you, and looking forward to the lucky last, especially with that horse trading at around about 16-1.
Yep, that's my type of play. Like I said, been waiting for him for a while on the inside track, and we got that chance on Sunday. Yep, always a pleasure, Devon. Thanks so much. Keep up the good work, and we'll chat again soon.
Thanks to Alistair Cohen for providing us with his selections and previews for the race meeting that's scheduled to take place this Sunday, the 28th of September. And if you're playing this place accumulator, good luck to you.